Take two. Kyle here from All Media Reviews. Here to do a reaction to the Rock Hall list. I just did a whole video and wasn't recording, so love it when that happens. Let's try to do this as briefly as possible because it was a lot. So the Rock Hall results came on Monday. I haven't had time to do it, but Bad Company, Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, Cyndi Lauper, Outkast, Soundgarden, and the White Stripes all got in. Um, the acts that did get in: Fish, who won the fan vote. Billy Idol finished third in the fan vote. Um, the Black Crowes finished eighth in the fan vote. Mariah Carey ninth. Joy Division slash plus New Order 10th. Um, Oasis 13th and Mana 14th. So those half of those came in, but the fact Fish didn't get in, they won the fan vote is pretty egregious. But anyway, um, the class and the whole thing with the class is just it's very nondescript and blah to me. Um, but um, I mean, Bad Company, it's fine. They got in. I just don't know that's basically eliminating the chance of Free getting in or the Firm. Forgot that Paul Rogers was anything with Queen, but it's fine. The one classic rock and somewhat related to AOR dad rock band that got in. Um, let's see here. Um, Cyndi Lauper, it's good that she got in her second time. You know, she's a pop act from the '80s that should be in. I mean, I think your likes of obviously Phil Collins or you're talking female acts like Paula Abdul should get in at some point too. Paula Abdul probably had a few even bigger hits, but I know that's man, I don't know about that actually. It's maybe it's like splitting hairs, but anyway, Paula Abdul somewhat matches her, and he even got famous from originally from American Idol. I do have a beef with the fact they announced it on American Idol because they did the why do people that watch American Idol that demographic isn't necessarily the Rock Hall. I mean, it might be becoming that way, but because ABC has run as and Disney now over HBO has the rights to the Rock Hall, they're announcing on American Idol. No one even knew about it. It was going to happen soon, but it's going to happen. I thought Monday, but it was on Sunday night with American Idol. I didn't pay attention. Um, Chubby Checker, old school. There's not too many like early rock and roll artists left, like Dick Dale maybe, and like Pat Boone. But it's good that he got in. He's known for like a few tracks, especially the twist. But it's nice to see him, man. And same with Joe Cocker. Long overdue, but you know, I wonder about Checker and Chubby Checker and Joe Cocker getting in though. Joe Cocker, I don't think is with us. No, I don't think so. He passed away a couple of years ago, unfortunately. But Chubby is, I believe. But um, you know, they should have gone in a long time ago. But they could have been under musical, like under early influence or influences is known. Salt and Peppa and Warren Zevon are getting in that way. I think Salt and Peppa may have been nominated once, but anyway, let's see here. Going over the rest of just a few comments about the rest of the list. Outcast, it's going to open things up potentially. I don't know with '90s and you know early like 2000s sort of crossover hip hop. But I'm hoping Janelle Monáe is involved, and I'd want to watch the ceremony if she is involved. Soundgarden, the third or fourth time they got nominated. Unfortunately, it's after Chris Cornell died. I wonder if his brother Peter Cornell will be there, who sang in a prog band in the early 2000s called Somnambulist. But he sounds a lot like him. But we'll see who actually does the induction. It would be interesting to see who does the vocals, especially. I remember seeing some other stuff about who may do it. I think was it Gary Sharon might be of Extreme, who never been nominated themselves. But the White Stripes are the one name on this list I really don't care for at all. I know Seven ever knows Seven Nation Army, but unless it's Jack Black inducting him on an ironic like he did with Ozzy last year, I'm not sure I have any desire to watch that. But I'm glad that they're in. I'm glad most of these names are in, so we don't have to think about them anymore. That's the biggest thing. And also with Salt and Pepper and Warren Zevon. Tom Bell, Nicky Hopkins, I don't know under the musical excellence. But Carol Kay getting in, who's 90, part of the Wrecking Crew thing, played on Pet Sounds and other, you know, and Monk to Monkey stuff. It's good that she's finally in. She is still alive, thankfully. She's 90. Amateur Award, Lenny Waronker, whatever. But yeah, I mean, the fan vote is the biggest travesty here, and the fact that this list of nominations is so kind of second, third tier to me, but it's sort of checking them off and getting them out of the way. But the whole process I've talked about, not only term limits, which they've actually rectified somewhat on the nomination committee, but the ballot process of evaluating how they get in and having the fan vote winner Fish not getting in. It's only happened. Same thing happened with Dave Matthews Band 2020 is egregious, and the fan vote needs to be. They need to be some transparency would be wonderful. I don't expect it because they're a private institution. They do what they want, but the fan vote should really be worth about like 400 ballots, not one ballot, because 200 and whatever 80 some thousand people, even though it's a low number, voted, and there's only worth one, and they're all those people that vote that went over and over again, they won it clearly. Didn't mean anything. What is the fan vote worth much? And Billy Idol, who finished third, also didn't get in. That's happened before too. I think Yes was third one year and they didn't get in. Um, but what's the point of doing the fan vote if you vote and you don't get in? And Billy Idol, I could take or leave him getting in. There's other acts that should get in front of him or more famous even, like Phil Collins. But I don't have a problem with him getting in, but there hasn't been a lot of push for him. So anyway, that's kind of my take. I'll maybe watch the ceremony in a few months, but I'm gonna make a separate video with my list of it's like 70 names actually. I forgot to add one name I put at the end. Um, who have never been gotten in. A lot of them have never been nominated, including jazz. A few jazz artists are on the list that I did a few months ago. That I'll do that in a separate video. Um, just we'll see. Maybe over the next 5 to 10 years, a lot of these names will get checked off. But it's a matter of that battle between you need to put recent artists in versus older artists, female, male, minorities, LBGP, all these different representations in the class. That's part of and all this backlog, part of why it would make so much sense to continue to increase the number of nominees and then maybe increase the number of musical excellence and early influence or influence awards, because that's been at least like the veterans committee. Get these people that are not good. Salt and Pepper was got nominated, and Warren Zevon again will not win. Will not. I don't know, Mariah Carey, even though she's a 90s artist, maybe she'll get put in that way if she gets nominated again. That whole thing about if you get nominated 3 times, you're in. I mean, or maybe 4 times, like a fourth time, or if you would have gotten nominated but they don't put you on the nomination, you're automatically put in because you would have made the nomination list. But if you're not going to get the votes, they don't change the voting process and the percentage of the fans ballot. At least that would be one or the way. It's like this band, this artist gets nominated. They're not going to go on the nomination list because we're just going to put them in because we're sick of Shaka Khan, LL Cool J, Link Ray. How many others have gotten in that way? It's just you don't have to rely on lack of votes from the fan ballot, lack of votes from the just the 1,200 plus ballots, however many it is. It's gone to. I saw one quote that'd be about 1,200 interested people, obviously inductees who want to vote. But so that's my spin on the Rock Hall results. Like I said, I'm gonna do the my own personal. It's a top 70 if I can get through it in one video. Try to go through it, kind of lightning round for a lot of it. But who I think egregiously, I like most of the names on that list. Because I didn't think I included any of the nominations. But most of the names on the list I think are more deserving, as if not more deserving than all the inductees this year. Actually, I mean, Bad Company, Styx, Boston, just as a classic rock, AOR, dad rock per se. There's so many of them. Supertramp, Toto, and then Toto's more yacht rock and whatever. But all these bands deserve to be in, like totally deserve to be in, and I think actually deserve more to be in than the ones they're putting in. A lot of them, why are they putting in Soundgarden, ahead of Toto, I mean, I know they've been nominated a few times, but put Soundgarden. We have to think about Soundgarden, the whole Joy Division, New Order thing, and the replacements. That whole crew want their people in. Why isn't it Inaccessible? That's what my list is gonna be filled with. All these names that really do deserve to get nominated and deserve to get in, but we'll see if it ever happens. How many of them? Probably some of them will get in eventually, but some of them, who knows? So, but thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.